What is good and welcome back to Chatwin Reacts, and today we're checking out the Haters Guide to the 2023 NFL Season AFC Edition. We checked out a couple of this guy's videos before, and I didn't really know anything about American football. I think when we last checked his guide out, it might not have even been him. But I'm looking forward to this one because now I'm going to go into this with a bit more knowledge, supporting the Jags. Are the Jags in the AFC? I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know, so maybe my knowledge ain't as great as I think it is. But after this video is done, make sure you're clicking that link for my second channel, where all the game highlights are going to be. I just posted the Dodgers versus the Braves game that I watched, and I'll put most of the NFL games we watch, NBA games, MLS games. I might do hockey, I don't know. But anyway, let's go.
Football time is here again. And I think to myself one thing. I need to get to more games this year. I often find myself caught up in the grind of sports ball and rambling on a microphone. And I need to replace that with screaming my vocal cords out at a stadium. And I know exactly the way to get there on Sundays. You do too. Say it with me. SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. The app that helps aid us in...
I like this guy a lot, so I'm going to let his ad play.
Aggregating all tickets from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale with a view from where you'll be sitting. And all game tickets are certified for authenticity. Heck, it's not just with sports, but concerts, theater, and shows from rambling about the teams in the AFC. Last year felt like a buzzkill for the Bills. A team with so much ambition and drive just went sideways.
This is Josh Allen's team, am I right?
Some issues this year are the same, such as Naheem Hines being out for the season, cursed with the horrible...
Oh shit. Oh wow, he'll miss the whole season.
...fate of being injured on an idle jet ski, while being struck by another jet ski. That situation feels like Buffalo's predicament. They are a great team, but can they finally get over the hump? Will Von Miller and Tre'Davious White recover from injury to be what they can be? Is Stephon Diggs really that pissed at the organization, or is it just a smokescreen?
Am I right in thinking this is Josh Allen's team?
Anyone other than Josh Allen to run the damn football?
Yeah.
The in-division competition will be fierce. And Buffalo's now in a position...
Because I'm going to do a video on Josh Allen, because he was one of the quarterbacks I saw when we were kind of first doing videos, first trying to learn this game. And I do like a scrambling quarterback, and that's just what I kept seeing was Josh Allen doing it. So, you know, I'm going to have to do an individual video on Josh Allen.
In a long time. Fending off the hounds of war. A tale of two teams. One with two under center and one without. As trendy as it is to criticize him, the Dolphins are a significantly better team with Tonga Vailoa. But will he be able to stay healthy this time around? Concussions are prone to repeat after the first one. Protecting their man will be at the forefront of every conversation. With the weapons they have in their arsenal, it'll be a deadly force if healthy. Their offensive line has improved at the very least. It's nothing special, but it's better. Yeah, that's a go. They tried to
so a Dolphins, one of the kind of like
not cover zero blitzing every single drive will help with that. So
am I right thinking that, or am I wrong? Like, you know, I'm not going to keep pausing all the time, but I just remember, was it the Dolphins? I could be rambling now. I don't know. There was a team that someone said was like really kind of shit now, but were just incredible back in the day.
Same brand that breaks down way too often. Take him to the Genius Store and we'll see you in December. Hopefully nothing else falls apart on them in the process. Speaking of falling apart, the Christian Wilkins negotiations have reached an impasse. You can afford them, right? To rebuild a crumbling empire or not? That is the ultimate question in Foxborough. Over the past few years, too many steps backward have been taken.
It must be hard being a Patriots
fan. Has become
fan.
Too complacent in his duties, yearning for an age-long past. Surrounding himself with yes-men that ruin the prospects of Mac Jones. And hoping to God that he can overcome those horrors by his own doing. Desperately trying to fill the holes where greats once stood to mix success. Perhaps the Patriots...
Like, imagine having the best quarterback.
As they threw money at Juju Smith-Schuster to do. But attempts to woo Nuke Hopkins over here had failed. Ezekiel
I've heard that name before,
Juju. Prize, but like Bill, his star has also lost its luster. Regardless, the hunger to reemerge from the shadows is always on their minds. Sometimes the most unbelievable things can happen in the NFL. Any given Sunday, right? Perhaps Belichick on the hot seat? Oh, that's a bit preposterous. Is it? History often repeats itself. And it's not because we don't learn from its mistakes. It's because we feel we can improve upon the results. The second coming of a legendary Packers quarterback was foretold in the stars. And like Favre, Aaron Rodgers has chosen to mend his trade in North Jersey. He brings with him a caravan of chums. And together they reassemble the 2015 Green Bay Packers. Something just feels weird with this team. In theory, this should be a return to relevance. All the Jets really need is quality quarterback play to right the ship.
So it must have been the
Dalvin Cook to pair with a return.
the Jets I was thinking of then. But I'll just go back to the Patriots. Like, you know, because I don't know much, but I know Tom Brady was the GOAT, right? So you lose him and then you don't really win anything. Well, they didn't get to the Super Bowl without Brady, did they? Or did they? I don't know. I don't think so. See, this is the problem. My knowledge is so little. I just end up looking silly. But you know, I wouldn't want to be a fan of them, knowing you're at the top of the top, and now you're kind of like mid. I don't know. We would call it in the Premier League, football, soccer, mid-table team. Like you're not the best, but you're not the worst.
Running Brees Hall because of it. But is Rodgers really the right quarterback for these guys? He was missing a lot of throws last season, and miscommunication ran rampant. If things go south early, I fully
Is that
expect
Aaron
him to
Rodgers? I
pitch
thought
up
he
a
went to
storm
the
on Pat
Eagles, or
McAfee.
my.
If there's
Was there
something
not
that
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers?
loves more than winning, it's
It is.
drama.
I thought
We're
he
not
went to,
talking Corey
maybe I was
Davis
wrong.
abruptly retiring. Get the popcorn. The second age of Lamar Jackson is upon us. And it nearly didn't happen either. No longer will he be handcuffed by Romans, but unleashed with an arsenal carefully scripted by Todd Monken. The long-suffering offense has been set free, as Lamar will hopefully have more than one target to throw to this time around. OBJ might not be what he was, but it's an upgrade, albeit an expensive one.
Oh, he's at the Ravens.
We all know that
just
they
did a
can
video
add all
on him.
these weapons,
Well, a
give
couple weeks
themselves
ago.
a fresh coat of paint, spend money on Jadeveon and Clowney even though they're set with young players at edge. None of it matters unless they can stay healthy. It's destroyed them the last 2 seasons. In fact, it's already happening. Marlon Humphrey is out indefinitely with foot surgery.
No.
This team literally can't catch a break. Unless it's apparently a bone that snaps. Gods, please spare Lamar Jackson this year. Joe Burrow question remains ever elusive for the Bengals. We've long been teased about the massive extension that'll be coming his way. It's going to reset the market. It's only a matter of when. But so far it's been quiet on that front. If they can get it done, the Bengals will be set as quality
He wants to
contenders
leave.
for a while
That's
to come.
usually what tends to happen. Either
As
you
long
pay me
as Burrow
more or
doesn't
I'm
get
gone on a
injured
free.
long-term. We all held our collective breath for a bit,
Which
but
obviously
we
means
can
nothing in
exit.
American football, but in
It was
football
only
or
a
soccer,
catch-string. There are other questions.
you
to
don't want your
answer,
players leaving on a
mainly in
free.
how they'll replace both Von Bell and Jesse Bates in the back end.
And I do think that is definitely a video I'm going to have to do something on, is how trades work, because I hate that I call it soccer so much. But so like my team, West Ham, we just sold a player, well, about a month ago, Declan Rice, for 105 million. And then we brought in a few other players with James Ward-Prowse. You guys don't care. But we got 105 million for one player. Whereas it kind of seems more over here, it's just more, I'll give you this player and a draft spot for this player. It doesn't seem to be, I don't think money changes hands, right?
Yeah. Plus, how
I
Orlando
could be
Brown
wrong,
does at left
but-
tackle. They're making the right moves, and their receiving core is going to be as deadly as ever. But it doesn't guarantee that it'll work out. The great quandary of sport itself.
They
should
are
still
my
be good
pick,
for
I
this
said in pre-season, to get to the Super
You
Bowl.
have no idea how
But I also said the
unbelievably
Chiefs,
critical this
and
season is for the Browns.
they obviously can't play
Nobody's
each other.
discussing it, but if
But-
things go miserably for them
Well,
this
that's what I
go
was
around,
told,
it could
but-
quite literally set the franchise back years. Deshaun Watson's contract will be coming to a head thanks to a restructure. You paid a king's ransom for him, you'll deal with an over $60 million cap hit in the future.
Jeez.
There are too many questions to ask towards the outcome of this team to be confident in them. Is Deshaun going to return to anything close to his old form? Will the defense be somewhat competent without Joe Woods ruining everything? Will they learn not to spend 4th-round picks on kickers? Is Jimmy Haslam now the worst owner in football since Snyder has gone? What is the consensus opinion on their new logo? All these and more will have to be answered. If they're wrong or poor responses, God help them.
They changed their logo.
Is there any doubt that they'll get any less than 8 wins this year? It's both a blessing and a curse. The standard of the standard. Just like the Steelers somehow refusing to die. With a hopefully healthy TJ Watt and a freshly paid Alex Highsmith, they'll be looking to terrorize foes left and right. They're not a sexy team by any standards, but they really don't give a shit. They'll win ugly with their opponents self-destructing and by Deus Ex Machina, and you'll like it. Their floor is set, but the key for any greater success will have to come with the allegedly small hands of Kenny Pickett. I may be biased in my love for him, but that's because I'm a masochist for Pitt football. Once again, not the sexy pick to break out as a QB option, but the Steelers will make it work out. Don't use logic with this team.
Steelers have definitely got a kit that I like.
This team is still trying their best to clean up the mess left by Bill O'Brien. And the rebuild will continue with anything resembling haste. CJ Stroud, this is your show now.
See, this is what I was going to say, is the Panthers and the Texans are the two teams that, especially on more Chatwin, that I probably will do quite a few reactions on if I'm right in saying this, that they're two quarterbacks, or they both picked first and second, both quarterbacks, and they're probably going to be the starting quarterbacks maybe. And if that's true, then I would definitely be watching them, because then I can kind of see that rise. Like, obviously, by supporting the Jags with Trevor Lawrence, which is going to his third season, so it's still kind of cool. But I think if I'm correct in thinking that the Texans and the Panthers are having, are they called the Panthers? Carolina Panthers, I think so. Their starting quarterbacks are rookie quarterbacks, then I would definitely be paying attention to them specifically.
Just like Deshaun won. You unfortunately don't have many weapons to play with. But the blindside blocker got paid the big bucks again, so protection isn't the worst. Houston is a group with a bunch of placeholders and hungry younger players eager to make a name for themselves. The only aspirations for the Texans this year? Keep out of the Tank Bowl. Not only for personal pride, but because Arizona has their first round pick. It'd suck if they gave up Caleb Williams in the process. Jim Irsay isn't just a clown, he's the entire goddamn circus. The Dunning-Kruger effect personified. You can lead an owner to competence, but you can't stop him from ruining everything. Not only meddling in team affairs, he's chosen to piss off his best players as well by not keeping his fucking mouth shut. You really had to ramble about how running backs are replaceable on Twitter, did ya? You really said no one would feel bad if Jonathan Taylor was out of the league?
If I die tonight, Jonathan Taylor is at the league. No one's going to miss us. The league is on. We know that. The National League was on there.
League? What the hell did you say to Taylor in private? Now he wants absolutely nothing to do with the team, and the Colts put him on the PUP list. He's demanded a trade, but considering their price point, they want to send a message. He's not a whale in captivity. He'll have a dead cap attached. Pretty bold when Zach Moss is out with injury, you know. With a regressed offensive line, question marks at receiver, and a defense forced to carry the team, I can say one thing. Anthony Richardson is going to die. At least give him a chance to survive. Jesus.
Wait, the Colts as well? Rookie Anthony Johnson named as Colts. Okay.
Is going to
I have
die.
to keep an eye. Maybe it wasn't the
At least
Panthers,
give him
then. Maybe it was the
a chance
Colts.
to survive. Jesus. The easy comparison
Here we go.
to this Jags team is the euphoria they felt after Saxonville in 2017. But honestly, this is completely different. They actually have a real quarterback for starters. Trevor Lawrence's emergence into a true superstar will be the utmost priority. And he was making great strides in that regard last season. With the surprises around him, mainly Calvin Ridley returning to the game, Christian Kirk playing up to his contract, and Evan Engram discovering he has hands, they'll be looking for a repeat performance. If things go to plan, it may very well be a new age in Jacksonville. And it certainly will be for their stadium.
I'm going to try so hard
undergoing a massive renovation to make it state-of-the-art.
to get to London and watch the Jags this year.
For 2 seasons. Hopefully this team won't be lost in the shuffle. Just be thankful you don't have to deal with the endless London rumors anymore. Or a PR campaign trying to make Urban Meyer look human. We know when someone's lying. Tennessee says they're still competitive, but their actions speak otherwise. They cut a ton of veteran pieces this past offseason. Over the past year, it's not competitiveness they've been running towards.
We just did a whole video on
but
Henry and his
football, hell.
vicious stiff
The
arms.
Titans know this, which is why
Good
they're
looking
trying to
team,
rebuild
Titans.
on the fly.
Well, they look like it anyway.
Successful or not really depends on a few things. Nuke Hopkins helps, and he's going to have to return to the greatness that he showcased with regularity. And King Henry will have to burn every last bit of his energy reserves carrying the offense. Ryan Tannehill, you just hope he can hold his own until one of the young prospects develops. The offensive line, yeah. The defense should be relatively stout as well, but that too is being rebuilt on the fly. It's their hope that they still have the power to make a run in the division. The reality will probably be the same as past seasons.
Do they?
A brutally
I
disappointing.
was gonna say, are they a team that gets to the playoffs? Like, so I think this is the beauty of me. This is the first full season I'm going to be able to watch from start to finish, doing this channel, learning this game. And like, because I don't know who really ever makes the playoffs. All I know is that the Patriots used to be really good. They're not anymore. And Patrick Mahomes is really good, and the Chiefs are good. Like that's kind of my knowledge of where each team's go in the playoffs. I did say I think the Bengals might make it there, but that's mainly because they were in the playoff final, whatever you guys call it, like last season, and that was like the first ever game I fully watched.
The ride never ends. You should know this by now, Denver. A desperate attempt to salvage anything from the Russell Wilson era will play out in front of a national audience. If that means throwing everything you can to get Sean Payton to try and coax it out of a leaner Chef Russ, then so be it. He's even bringing in some known help in the form of Will Lutz. Otherwise, it's been sparring of the verbal variety. Payton spent a lot of time ripping the previous regime for putting the hack in Hackett. He's not wrong. That group should be thankful that
I don't
Urban
know, it's
Meyer's
just
reign
me, but
existed.
the Broncos
The Broncos
just
conveniently play the Jets in Week 5. At that point, we only hope they have anything resembling a
don't
wide
seem like a
receiver.
team I have any interest in. And I
Broncos
don't
can
like
have no healthy one.
Maybe it's just the name,
Ever.
Broncos.
They're
Just
all
have no
falling
interest in it.
apart. Hopefully it's not a premonition for the rest of the team like last year was. Super Bowl run back is always fancied by those that tasted its glory. The Chiefs tried for it once a few seasons ago, but were undone in their attempt. Last year showed us that without Tyreek Hill, not much changed. New pieces were picked up off the ground to replace his production. But this time around, it might be a tad tougher. Chris Jones is in the final year of his contract, and he wants pay. Kansas City and Jones haven't come close to anything resembling agreement. He's currently in his own Le'Veon-style exodus from the team. He says he'll be back by week 8, but let's be real, Le'Veon said the same shit during his holdout. So the defense is probably going to give up 28 points per game instead of 21. Their matchups are going to be incredible shootouts that make the unbelievable seem
So it's going to be all for the offense
Kansas
for the
City will
Chiefs.
keep winning as a result. At least until Mahomes wants another raise. So you couldn't get Tom Brady to don the silver and black as anything besides an honor. Oh well, you'll continue to skin the Patriots alive by bringing in the prodigal son in Jimmy G.
Well, he's just done Birmingham City Football Club in England, hasn't he, Tom Brady? Which is where part of my family is from. So, you know, I'm basically good mates with Tom Brady, really.
Just don't pay attention to his foot. It's apparently mangled beyond all repair, and there's been nothing but radio silence on it. Overblown, probably. But it doesn't mean the Raiders are going to be any good. Team defense will cycle through at least 50 different players, and none of them will pan out for some reason. Marcus Peters come on down to be the next free agent fly. If only they could do the same long-term with Josh Jacobs, but they haven't come close to it. He tried for a holdout, but running backs have no power in the modern NFL. Hate to say it, Josh, but you're gonna have to bite the bullet here. Remember, the NFLPA had
The
a chance
money
to get
you
rid of
earn
the
is
franchise tag in
nuts.
2020. They failed you. Every year we hear about how this is the year the Chargers are finally going to break out. This is the year that they stop chargering all over the field. Yet it never changes. Whenever it feels like LA's mistake is escaping their own cursed incompetence, the vortex draws them right back in. In 2023, they will hopefully be cured of Lombardi's disease with the Kellen Moore vaccine. But he did show some red flags in Dallas. Those will hopefully be masked by the weapons on offense, featuring a Justin Herbert that's been flung the big bucks to hopefully not be the new Philip
Fucking
Rivers
hell.
in
262
and
million.
Austin Eckler, who failed to both get a better contract and request a trade out of here this offseason.
That's what, 50 odd million a
Fair,
year?
the real
Fucking
question is
hell.
on defense. And J.C. Jackson proved that last year was a fluke. Will Eric Hendricks finally solidify middle linebacker? Is there a healthy defensive tackle standing on this team? More importantly, Brendan Staley's job is on the line.
I can't lie, I don't even know
His
what team
ass
this
is
is.
searing hot this
Oh,
year.
the Chargers.
And for very good reason. I'm watching you. One word comes out of my mouth in regards to the AFC. Stacked. It's going to be a goddamn bloodbath in this conference.
Good.
And it can be argued whomever makes the Super Bowl will win it outright. Regardless, predicting anything is somewhat of a coin flip. In the AFC East, regardless of competition, the Bills are still the best in class, in my opinion.
Fair.
AFC North, barring more injury to Joe Burrow, since he takes it with their elite offense. The AFC South, it's Jacksonville's to lose.
Ah.
They have to win it by default, right? Although we did say that about Tennessee last year. And the AFC West is a Kansas City affair. As usual. Wild cards, though, they're really hard to gauge. Pick them out of a hat, I guess. Ravens, Chargers, and Jets.
I wouldn't be, like I said, I don't really understand too much how it works, but I would feel like the Baltimore Ravens look quite good.
Jets,
like,
because
especially
this
some
is
of the
usually
videos
how
we've seen on
ridiculous
them.
it tends to be. Sue me. I'm sorry for all the teams I jinxed, as always. I regret nothing.
Cincinnati, a beautiful.
Another incredible video from Urinating Tree. Like, I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, another incredible video. Like, I love watching his videos. I've watched a couple of his videos about even kind of doing a video on this channel because I thought it's just one of the best places to try and learn. We're definitely going to have to do a video on trades, I think. I need to understand how that works because it just... In soccer, it makes sense. Here you go, here's 100 million quid. Let me have your player. But I do like this kind of aspect of trades. I just want to learn a little bit more about it. Let me know what you want to see next down in the comments. And of course, way down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my second channel as well, where all the game highlights we'll check out for the NFL season will be. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.